Mrs. Hoback asked me to read a book, and I'm looking at some of these books, and these books are not Mr. Hoback approved. No, 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 no. Ooh, I found a book. John, Paul, George, and Ben by Lane Smith. Glasses off. Once there were 4 lads, John, Paul, George, and Ben. Make that 5 lads? There's also Independent Tom, always off doing his own thing, but we're not going to worry about him. John was a bold lad. At the start of every school year, the students were asked to write their names on the chalkboard, and every year it was the same story. John, this teacher would say, you have lovely penmanship. John, your confidence is refreshing. But John, come on. We don't need to read it from space because the writing is so big. If you put the book down flat and a satellite looked at it, it would be able to read it from space. Paul was a nosy lad. Before fun was invented, people joined bell-ringing clubs. As a member at Boston's Old North Church, Paul spent hours practicing in the belfry tower. Over time, that bell ringing took a toll on young Paul. All day, his head was filled with loud bings and bongs. He had to practically scream just to hear himself talk. Now that's fine around the belfry, but not at work. Extra large underwear, sure. Underwear. Extra large underwear, sure we have some. Let's see. Large, large, extra large. Here they are. Great big extra large underwear. Underwear. Paul was like a bullhorn in a china shop. Your wig, yes, it's coming. And your polka dot shirts are coming. And the pink breeches are coming. It took many years and a midnight ride for people to finally appreciate his special talent. The redcoats are coming! Everyone except that big underwear lady, she was still mad. It said underwear. George was an honest lad. One day, he took his shiny new hatchet and chopped down his family's cherry tree. When his father discovered the tree, he asked, Son, do you know who killed this beautiful little cherry tree? I cannot tell a lie, answered George. 'Twas I who chopped down this cherry tree. Then run to my arms, dearest boy, cried his father, for you have paid me 1,000-fold with your honesty. Really, said George, in that case, when I tell you I've taken out the apple orchard, leveled the barn, made kindling out of your carriage, you'll be a really wealthy man. Ben. Ben was a clever lad. Not only did he have a saying for every situation, he generously shared them with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Fish and visitors stink after 3 days. He considered it his duty to provide frequent free advice. The sleeping fox catches no poultry. Those who quarrels interpose must often wipe a bloody nose. If your head is wax, don't walk in the sun. 3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. The townsfolk were so taken by his generosity, they came up with a saying, especially for Ben. Oh, we can't say that word. But they don't want Ben to say things as often as he does. They'd like him to be very, very quiet a lot more often. I like it, said Ben. Short and to the point. Work a fox or turkey in there, and I think you've got something. Tom was an independent lad. One day, his teacher, Mr. Douglas, asked the class to make birdhouses by gluing macaroni to ye olde balsa wood. Tom happily ignored him and used traditional building materials in a neoclassical design. When the class made a palm tree, Tom took one look and said, "Not on your life," then quickly left. To sketch his own tree. Young Thomas fumed Teacher Douglas, "Would you mind explaining to the class why you insist on working so independently?" "Certainly," said Tom. "In fact, I've taken the liberty to list the very reasons." "Fear not, sir. I've used small words for the benefit of the dullards." Tom learned the power of his words that day. Mr. Douglas told him to pursue all the life, liberty, and happiness he wanted. Independently, in the corner, the other students pursued lunch. The rest is history. Say, you want a revolution? Well, John, Paul, George, Ben, and Tom sure did. In April of 1775, they got one. The redcoats were coming. In fact, King George III's army was marching to Lexington and Concord, Lexington and Concord, Lexington and Concord, to arrest John and other sons of liberty. Oh my gosh, there's so many words. Fortunately, Paul Revere was a noisy man. After his midnight ride, every Minuteman, women, and child knew who was coming and what they'd be wearing. It was the start of the Revolutionary War. The Americans needed to formally state their separation from the king. Who better than Thomas Jefferson, an independent man, to write the Declaration of Independence? Simply signing a document was treasonous and dangerous. Ben Franklin, a clever man, said it best. "We must all hang together," he quipped, "or assuredly we shall all hang separately." One might think twice about signing his name, not John Hancock, a bold man. He was the first to scribble his autograph, and man, just look at the size of that John Hancock. The war was won to General Washington. Everyone thought he would make a great king for the new United States of America. But George Washington was an honest man. "The last thing we need is another King George," he said. "President George has a nice ring to it." Ye olde epilogue. George didn't live in the White House like all the other presidents. He was asked to live in New York City, where there aren't so many trees. That concludes Mr. Hoback's reading to little children again. And I would like to thank you for this lovely opportunity I had to read to you today and sing, perhaps laugh, maybe cry. But I just hope that you guys all have a wonderful Zoom day today. And wait a minute. This is going on Zoom? Zoom? You're putting my video on Zoom? I thought this was a YouTube or a TikTok video. I'm out of here. Turn that off. I'm out of here.